Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Yeah, today I decided to come on and do a video. I am getting ready to leave town. Instead of leaving town tomorrow, we're leaving town on Monday, which my husband did a check on the traffic situation, traveling around Germany, and right now the summer holidays are starting for the school kids in one of the German states. And that means the weekends the Autobahn is gonna be packed. And we just decided to avoid that. We would leave on Monday. The only drawback to that is that all the diesels and the trucks and those kind of folks are going to be on the roads too. But it may be a little bit better for us to get from one place to the other that way. So that's what we're doing. I was going to go to the clock convention today, but I decided not to. There's just a big old thing with that. It's about 30 minutes away from here. I don't drive a car, so I would have to depend on my husband to get me there and back. And I didn't want to put him under that kind of stress because then gas prices have been astronomical here. We checked yesterday to see what the gas prices were, and they were for a liter. 4 liters is a gallon. So just to give you an idea. A liter of gas cost €2.23, I think it was. And that's just astronomical. I mean, if you're complaining in the States about gas prices, imagine how it is in Europe. In Europe, it's just, I mean, because they tax it to death. And so, the gas prices here are massively astronomical. And, I have to take that into consideration, take it into account. So, with that said, I want to do a little bit of a reading today. I wanted to show you also I got my new bag for my cards, and I actually did a new lining for it. Friend sent me this. I thought it was really pretty, and it was just a drawstring bag, but it had like there was no lining in it, and this has a lining. I put a lining in it, and so now it's like it's fixed up, and I just think it's like really cool. So it's really good. So I keep my cards in there, so like that. So. Yeah, I keep the box for the cards. I could probably just put the cards in and just go, okay, that help. But because this doesn't really tie drawstring close, I figured just use the box. So anyway, so yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on in the news right now. There's a lot of things happening. There's a couple of hearings I want to do a reading on. And that is these two jackals, for lack of a better term, that the Big Fat Orange Problems put up for the one is for the the Attorney General, and the other is for the head of the defense industry. Whatever um, the position that the woman from Hawaii used to have. Uh, I want to say DUI or something like that, but I don't know if that's another term that's something else, because it's like everything, all these initials and all these abbreviations are getting a little bit confusing and a little bit annoying. So, but with that said, so I want to see if these two individuals are going to get through the Senate. One of them was supposed to meet with the E-file survivors, and and from what I hear, that he did actually meet with them, but he was very condescending towards them. He was very rude to them. He did not leave them feeling like that they were valid or validated, or that their situations or their conditions were acceptable or what have you. So I mean, he's a bit of a jerk. Let's just put it that way. Just give it layman's terms here. The guy's a bit of a jerk. So will he get through the Senate confirmation? Will he get through to Senate confirmation? I thought I'd pull out my yes and no cards and see if that comes to pass. Yeah, these cards they're all different. The pictures on them are different, but I don't know what's yes and what's no. I just have it so that it's just a little, because I had old calendars and I just wanted to do something with the cards. So and so I put teddy bear pictures on them and then laminated them. So I've got 12 yes, 12 no, and 4 blank cards, I believe. So the blank means undecided. It's kind of like when the pendulum doesn't move to the left or right or forward and back. It just kind of goes and doesn't do anything. So that's what that is. So let's ask first if will the Attorney General be will he pass the Senate hearings and become attorney? He's right now he's like stand-in Attorney General because the other chick quit. or she was fired or whatever. So this guy who's up for it now, I'm not saying his name. He's I'll just call him Mr. Tuberculosis because his initials are TB. So TB, will he get Mr. Tuberculosis? Will he get into Attorney General position? Will he become Attorney General? No, I'd say no. Okay, I was gonna say if it came up as yes, I would ask if he would last as Attorney General. But it looks like the pretty definitive no. Let me see, and then underneath this is yes. But I'll just this is what came up. So it doesn't look good for him. I mean, everybody with half a brain could tell that he was lying or perjuring himself, as Cory Booker said, he perjured himself. And this other dude. Okay, let's see what's well the other dude, well the other guy who was who did even worse than TB did on his hearing. Will he get in as the head of the DUI or something, the Defense Intelligence whatever thingamajig? It's a pretty important job. Will he get in? Again, no, he will not. So um I was thinking that if he did, if either of these two clowns got into these jobs, they would probably this would probably be like giving a four-course dinner to the Democrats, because the Democrats, all they have to do is say, look at these clowns that this guy put up for these different jobs, and where one is just as corrupt as the day is long, and where the other is an election denier, and all they have to do is just run the ads on loop about these two clowns, and they probably would win their respective races. So, will these hearings or so help the Democrats win in November? Let's just ask the cards that. Will the will these hearings help the Democrats in November? It's not going to help them. They need to work on their policies. They need to really focus on their policies. This is not just about being opposed to a clown in office. This is about them really fine tuning their policy incentives. Will progressives do well in November? Will progressives do well in November? Will progressives do well in November? Blank card. So it depends. What's underneath that? Another blank card. I have yes and no cards. There's a no card. There's a no card. There's a no card. I do have yes cards in here. See, there's a yes card. Okay. So, I mean, that wasn't to answer the question. I don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be that bad for the progressives. I think the progressive wing is going to do exceedingly well. They have been doing well since. This is the political scientist in me talking here, more than the guides telling me. But this is the political scientist in me that's saying that progressive policies are the way to go. Bernie Sanders, AOC, Mamdani in New York, the mayor of New York, who everybody wishes was the mayor of their town now because he's doing so much good for New York City. So, yeah, this is a really, really, really progressive stance that all these candidates have, and they're winning races. And progressive in New Jersey, I'm registered in District 12 in New Jersey, and I can't remember the guy's name, but I know he's a doctor. And I did all this research on every single candidate that was running because they had like a really packed thing with the people running. I had a ballot that was like this long, like from top to the bottom of the screen, this long, and there were names, bam, 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 12 of them, up to down. And I went through every single name because I was going to be really meticulous with this. And I went through every single name and I researched each of these candidates. and I ask questions. What, my biggest issue in the U.S. with U.S. politics is healthcare, because I'm a cancer survivor. So healthcare is like a huge thing for me. And I want to see people get healthcare. I want to see people not go broke if they get a cancer diagnosis like I got. I mean, because it can hit anybody at any time. So yeah, I'm a big healthcare advocate. I will say it straight up. I believe that people deserve universal healthcare. I believe that healthcare is a right, just like Bernie says, human right. It's a human right. So when I got ready to vote in primary for the Democratic primary, I went through and I found all these these sort of words that each of these candidates was putting out. And some of them were saying enhance Obamacare, make it easier on the ACA, and all these little key words that people come up with, and they say, okay, we're gonna make things easier for you with the ACA, or we're gonna do this for this thing, and we're going to enhance this a little bit. Incremental steps is what they were talking about, and I dismissed them. Quite outright, I dismissed them. And then I got to this guy who's the doctor, who has background with medicine, and he understands the healthcare issue. He understands the healthcare debate, and he says healthcare is a human right. He was basically verbatim quoting Bernie Sanders, and I was like going, "That's the guy," and I knew that's the guy. And then what happened? He won. And after I found out that he won, I was really excited and was really happy that he won. But after I found out that he won, I found out that he was also endorsed by AOC and by Bernie Sanders. And I was like, there you go. Okay. So yeah, so this is what happens. So let me just ask real quick. Will and I think this is probably a giveaway question. Will he win in November? I mean, it's a very Democratic district, so probably yes. But will he win in November? And if my guides say no, then I know they're kind of joshing me a little bit. So I know they have a sense of humor. But will he win in November? Yes, he will. He will win because it is a very Democratic district. But I still vote for him. I'll still give him a vote. But yeah, this is what's going on. So we've got these two jokers that are in the that are being debated for these two jobs in the cabinet. And I have to say this point up. IKEA has better cabinets than this clown. So, take it for what it's worth. But anyway, so or they I say IKEA, but they say IKEA in the States, I think. So it's just a different way of pronunciation. But you know the place. It's the Swedish furniture maker that has, like, everybody has at least one piece of furniture from there in their house. Probably. So let me do a read on these poor guys, and these cards are going to need some serious sage after this. So I'll have to put it in a bowl full of sage drops or something when I'm done here. But what does the let's break it up into two. Let's do the Attorney General first. Let's do the Attorney General. He's a stand-in Attorney General at the moment. And what does it look like for this guy? Because he's got, like, criminal investigations all over the place going on about him. I mean, he's about as corrupt as the guy from Texas who's running for the Senate against Tallarico. These people are all corrupt. They're criminals, and they're running for office, public office, here, there, and everywhere else. And it's like, what is the deal? What's going on in the U.S. right now with all these criminals that are, running the asylum? I mean, it's crazy. So let's see what it looks like for the Attorney General. What can you tell me about the Attorney General um in the uh in the US? What can you tell me about these hearings and all this stuff that's going on with the AG in the US? What is going on? Good. No, one more, they said. Okay, one more shuffle. There we go. Now they're saying it's okay. So we've got the Page of Swords. And the Page of Swords, these are I'm wanting to say secrets and things that are going on, but I'm not really sure. So let me grab this here. New challenge. The theory and logic that is clear to you, and you have all the tools you need. You know exactly what you need to do and how to do it. So what I'm getting here is, from reading this and then from just looking at the card itself, what I'm getting is that I think that what's happening is that the Congress itself, the Senate, who is, seeking to approve or disapprove this guy, I think that they are looking at all of these things meticulously. And I think that they know that there will be impacts with this if they approve this guy that will shatter November for the GOP. That's what I think is going on. I think that this has a lot. There's a lot riding on this, and this guy, he is the Page is still it's a royal card or whatever that they have, but it is also a childish instinct, or it's a new instinct. And what they're saying is that the Congress has this new thing that's unprecedented that's happening. And they're now saying, well, should we, worry about this, or should we go forward with it? And I think that what's happening is that they're saying, you know what? We do not want this to have an impact on our chances of winning in our election. So there's a lot of stuff riding on this. And as I said, that if this guy were to get in, the Democrats, all they have to do is play this on loop. Play it on loop. This will undermine everything that the GOP is trying to do. And all the Democrats will have to do is just say, this guy is who got in for Attorney General, and we are against lawlessness. There you go. The ads will write themselves. It's crossed by the Three of Wands. Now, the Three of Wands is about ships coming in or going out. So, I think that what this is that it's saying that if he gets voted in, this could be the ship leaving harbor and without him. And that, like I said, that the people will, all they have to do is just do ads on loop about how these folks are so lawless, and how they're putting in lawless friends of the felon. And that's all they have to do is to say, this guy's a friend of this guy who's a felon. He is a convicted felon. Okay? The jury found him guilty, and he is 34 times over a convicted felon. So if he gets put in, this could be the undoing of everything that the GOP thinks is really good and great in the world. So they may be thinking, and what's happening is that a lot of them are thinking short term, and they're thinking, oh, this could, in the front, and at the beginning or so, this could be, this could be all great and good and yay, yay, yay. But then the Democrats will respond, and the response will be absolutely brutal. And all they would have to do is, just like I said, put the lie on loop. The lies, the cover-ups, the everything that this guy has been doing, put it on loop and let the voters decide in November what's going on. And I think that will destroy them. So, I mean, if he gets blocked from the job, then the Democrats just can move on, and they have to do it'll be harder for the Democrats, pretty much, I think, for them to move on and to say, okay, we're gonna do this. We're gonna have to find some kind of policies that we're gonna have to run on. So if he gets in, the Democrats can say, well, we didn't vote for him. We didn't vote him in. We didn't want him in. And we know that he's lawless and he's just terrible and all this. And so we didn't want him in. So I don't want to give any advice or suggestions to the GOP, but I would say that if they were smart, which I don't think they are, entertainment purposes only, YouTube, I don't think, just looking at this, that they are in a winnable situation. They are in a no-win situation. If this guy gets in, the ads will come like this. the people will be making ads against any GOP candidate that comes out, even if it's somebody who's not even in Congress right now. There will be the backlash against the GOP. And if he doesn't get in, the Democrats will have to up their game a little bit on policy, which they are capable of doing. The progressives have done it. And they will still be able to say, well, look, this guy tried to put, the GOP tried to push through a guy who was a criminal. So they're really, I think that the GOP is really in a fine pickle, but I do think that they would stand a better chance in November if they voted, if people in the GOP voted against him, if they became a sort of a unity within the Senate saying, no, we're not going to vote this guy in. So that's what I think is really kind of at the base of that. Well, here's at the base is the King of Wands. And the King of Wands, I pulled this card a couple of days ago, and it's about focus and determination. So I think that the underlying energy on all of this is the Democratic Party, and the Democratic Party are, they're focused on this on what's going on, and they're saying we don't want this person in some place of power or what have you. So they're going to be I think they're going to go I'm going to think they're going to go for the jugular on this. They're going to say, no, we do not want a criminal as attorney general. We do not want this to continue. In the immediate past, you have the King of Swords, a lot of king energy, a lot of really powerful people energy that's going on. And this is I want to say that this is the person or people who are holding the ball. I don't think this is the big fat orange problem at this point. I think that this is the people who are looking at this guy and they're calling him out and they're saying what he is and what he's done, and this could ultimately destroy him. I also think that this may be in various municipalities, I think, or in various communities or states or whatever, that people are starting to find the criminal behavior that this guy is partaken in, and that he is going to that it's going to end up being the death knell for him. That he, as far as the job's concerned, not physically, entertainment purposes only, but um, this is the people who are going against him, and they're seeing the criminality that he has partaken in firsthand, and they're saying, no, we're not going to deal with this. This could also be the file survivors, the ladies who are courageous and brave enough to go out and say, no, we're not going to. This isn't what we signed up for. This is not what we want. And I think the ones that really have the power in this are the survivors, because they're opening people's eyes and they're saying, you know what? You do not have to vote this guy in. And the way he's behaving is pretty obvious that he is criminal. The overarching energy is the Knight of Pentacles. Goodness. King of Wands, King of Swords, um, Page of Page of Page of Swords. So there's a lot of swords. There's a lot of energy here. There's a lot of stuff going on. But all these royal cards, they're saying that this is a big deal. And I think that that's what this is. The overarching thing of this is that it is a big deal. And that even though this guy he's got a lot of barriers in his way. And I think that this is the issue. All the criminal activity, all the things that he's doing, all of the stuff that's happening with him. He's got barriers in his way. So he wants this job, but he has all the barriers that are preventing him from getting the job. So, that's what I think. I think that he knows and he realizes that he's got all these barriers, but the barriers, there's so many of them that he is, kind of stuck. In the immediate future, we have the Three of Pentacles. And the Three of Pentacles is, I think that I think this is more or less the diversion tactics that people are like kind of playing around with. Everything is like, look at here, look over here so we can do what we want over there. And I think that that's going to continue. I think that's what the GOP is doing. They're going to hold this up and say, look at me, look at me, look at me, and or don't look at me, look over here. Look at what's going on over here. And then, divert the focus, divert the focus, divert the focus. Get everybody's attention shifted away from all the underhanded stuff that we're doing over here to go looking over there. And I think that that's what they've been doing since this whole thing with the e-files. They are actually coming out and they're saying, yeah, we're going to try and divert everybody's focus to somewhere else, so that we don't have to, you know, contend with this. Internally, we have the Four of Pentacles, and the Four of Pentacles is the money hoarders. That's all these people who are supporting these criminals. And that's these big businesses, these big CEOs, these companies, these people who are, hoarding everything for themselves and leaving us with crumbs. That's what this is. This is these people. They're trying to, instead of facing that there's criminality going on and that this stuff is happening, what they're basically doing is they're saying, look over there. Look at the welfare queens. That's it with Reagan and the welfare queens. That's exactly what this is. They're saying we'll take away from you, and then everything that we want to give, we give to our rich friends and rich powerful friends, and then you're left with the crumbs and you have nothing. But we can fester this anger that you have because you have nothing. Fester that up, make it into some kind of, it's just a game. It's just a game to them. And this is what it's all about. And basically, by putting this guy in as attorney general, it's not only an insult to the people, but it's also basically saying, yeah, he'll overlook our criminality because he's a criminal himself. Birds of a feather flock together. Externally, we have the emperor. Well, that's the big fat orange problem. What's going to happen when the big fat orange problem is no longer a big fat orange problem, but is on the other side of the realm? That's the question. What's going to happen with all of these people that have been propping this guy up like Weekend at Bernie's? What's going to happen? Hopes and fears is the Ace of Swords. This is what we all hope for. This is the sword of truth. This is what we want to see, is the truth emerging about these people and about what their motivations are. And I think that this is something that people are finally coming to grips with. And the general society is saying, we don't want a criminal as attorney general. We don't want a criminal in DUI. We don't want a criminal doing all of these things and having access to all this power and all this other stuff. We want the truth to emerge through the e-files, through everything, through all the corruption that's going on. We see the corruption is there. And one of the things that I saw was a ship, and it had MAGA on it. It was a ship, and then there was like a little iceberg, and it was sticking up above the water. The surface of the water was here, and then you had like a little bitty tiny thing, and it says corruption. And then underneath the surface of the water, there was a huge block of ice underneath it. And that was signified the corruption that we see versus what we don't see, the underlying corruption that's going on within the government, this makes the Italian mafia look like a bunch of choir boys. I mean, seriously, that is what we're seeing, this underlying corruption, this corruption that's on the surface that we're seeing, and our heads are exploding because we're seeing all this corruption that's going on. But then you have this huge thing underneath the water that nobody realizes just how huge this is. This is like this huge block of ice that's underneath the surface of the water that people are like, wait a minute. The final outcome is the Page of Wands. And I'm going to pull the book because the Page of Wands is it is time to put your thoughts into action. And a lot of times people think this is like young energy. And it actually, in this case, it isn't. It is a young energy. It's the young people. It's the people who have a conscience. It's the people, light workers, everybody that's, really seeing what is going on and what's happening. And they're now putting their thoughts into action. And they're now saying, you know what? We have had it with all this corruption. We have had it with these people who think that they can get away with everything because they're rich and because they have money and they're powerful. At the base of the deck, we have the Seven of Pentacles, which is a harvest. We have the Hierophant, which is which is actually the system of government, the governance and stuff. And I have to cover this, the Star card. And the Star card is about shedding light or casting light into any dark corner, any situation. And then we have the Ten of Swords and the Three of Cups and the Chariot. So, no, and then the Six of Wands. So, yeah, this is all about the corruption that is happening. And we are seeing it in real time, and we're seeing it play out, and we're going, no, we do not want any more of this. We do not want any more of this sick and twisted notion that these people can get away with everything. I'm gonna pull a few cards on the other guy just to see what his energy looks like. I don't want to stay in TB's energy because it's yucky. And this other guy's energy is even yuckier than that. And no cards fell, but these two fell out. And it's really interesting because the two cards that popped out are the Five of Cups and the Four of Swords. That's what I'm getting from this about this guy's energy. My guides are saying you don't have to go any further on this. You're good. This is what things look like for that other guy. Minor Arcana Death card. Loss, disappointment, humiliation. Five of Cups. Yeah. With the base, Justice. Justice card. And the Tower. Okay. Need I say more? This guy's toast. Okay. According to these cards, this guy's toast. Which is lovely because, this is about this is about intelligence. This is about the intelligence, you know. Yeah. Sweating. Yeah. Yeah. Tower card. Ten of Swords. Yeah. Okay. I don't need to post. I don't need to read any more into that because that guy is. Well, that guy, he's as slimy as they come, and that's what people, are seeing for entertainment only. I say that third time so that people don't think that I'm like, but I mean, what do I know? I'm just some person throwing cards. But really, I mean, yeah, to pull those cards, I wouldn't want to be in his shoes for anything in the world. No, yeah. So that's what happens. Karma. Karma is really happening. Let me just do one more thing here, and I'm going to try the rods this time because I just want to see. I have a couple of questions about the senator from Kentucky before I wrap up here. See if Sunshine is willing to work with me. Okay, things are squeaking. It's quite funny. Okay, show me yes, please. Sunshine, can you show me yes, please? What's going on? Okay, show me yes. Okay. Yay. Okay, now she's there. Okay, thank you. Clear, please. They don't work with me today. Okay, so I'll try the pendulum. I haven't worked with the rods in like a really long time, and they don't seem to. This is what happens when you make videos. Hello. Here we go. Okay. I think they know what I'm going to ask. That's why they just. Okay, so around and around means they're ready for a question. Forward and back is yes, thank you. And side to side is no. Show me no, please. Thank you. Okay, clear, please. Is the senator from Kentucky still among the living? This says yes. Oh, this thing is like, there we go. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's try that again. Is the senator from Kentucky among the living? Okay, this says yes, but is the senator from Kentucky able to communicate verbally with anybody? No. Thank you. Clear, please. Is the governor from Kentucky going to appoint a new senator? And went right into yes, he will. Will an announcement be made before August 3rd, which is when they can basically call special election or so? Will an announcement be made before August 3rd? Yes. Okay, thank you. Clear, please. Will the big fat orange problem be successful in going after Georgia senators? It's very small. No, no, he won't be successful. Thank you. Clear, please. Will John Ossoff win in Georgia the Senate race in November? Yes. Yes, he will. Oh, yeah. Now it's saying yes. Yeah. Okay. Clear, please. Will Tallarico win in Texas against the big criminal there? I'm getting yes, but that doesn't mean anything. Go out and vote. If you're in Texas, please go vote. If you're in Georgia, please go vote. Any state, any state in the US that is doing anything with the midterms, go vote. Vote in the midterms. Vote, 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 vote. Don't take our word for it. Don't take anybody's word for it. Nothing is finite until people vote. So vote. Vote, 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 vote. Okay. Public service announcement over. Okay, clear, please. Will the senator in Maine win her race? Oh no, swung very big no. No, she will not win. Do the Democrats have a person at the ready to run in for that seat? Oh yeah, they do. They haven't announced it yet, but they do. Okay, very good. Thank you. Um, will the Democrats take the House? Yes. Thank you. Clear, please. Will the Democrats take the Senate? Yes. Okay. Thank you very much. So that's what we got. And it's kind of no wonder. Oh, I know what another question I have. I just thought of it. Because I asked this to Gary on this morning about the 25th Amendment, so I'm going to ask them here. Will the Democrats push forward the 25th Amendment against the big fat orange problem? Oh yeah, they will. Yeah, and they may be doing it right now. Clear, please. Um, will the new senator from South Carolina who took the place of the other guy, will she follow along with what the other guy did? I mean, just okay, yeah, she's gonna be, will she be in the will she run as because he was running for it. Will she run for it? will she take the Republican nomination for the Senate for November? Oh yeah, she will. So she's, she's going to, which is kind of strange because a lot of people are saying that she wasn't really happy with this, that they decided it without her consent. Did they decide it without her consent? Yeah, they did. Is she a Stepford wife or a Stepford type of individual? Yeah, no, they're not answering that one. Um, oh, yeah, they did. They just said yes. Okay. Um, yeah, I think that's it. So lots of stuff going on, lots of questions asked, lots of questions there. I'll have to practice with my rods to see if I can get them to actually work. God, this thing's filthy. Needs to be cleaned again, I think. Must be the energy on it. I need to probably put it in some sage or something. But at any rate, so that's what I got for you. It is crazy. Things are crazy right now. Things are absolutely crazy. So yeah, so that's what I got. I hope you have a great weekend. I'll try and come on next week when I'm in the north of the country when it's not so hot. And thank you for watching. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. Again, for entertainment only. I'm just a tarot reader trying to learn tarot reading and having a little bit of fun with it. So hope you have a great day. Thank you for watching and take care. And as always, namaste.